We have returned for our 34th edition of the Torch News Roundup, where I don't just tell you the news, I tell you what I think about the news. So, word has it Peter Dinklage is being eyed for a role in Avengers Infinity War. No word yet on who he could be playing, and there's been some speculation as to who would be in line with Peter's size. But, as you might recall, Peter already played a reimagined Bolivar Trask in Bryan Singer's X-Men Days of Future Past. So, he could be playing just about anybody. Let me know in the comments who you think he might be playing. The new Spider-Man animated movie by Sony is set to hit the big screen, and it's been confirmed that it will feature Miles Morales. This doesn't come as a huge surprise, as it's been rumored for some time. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are set to direct the film, due for release December 21st, 2018. Well, it's been confirmed, yet again, that Channing Tatum is still indeed intended to star as Gambit in a solo Gambit film. This news is imparted to us yet again by the only person on the planet, including Channing Tatum, who is actually interested in a Channing Tatum solo Gambit flick, producer Lauren Schuler Donner. The project has been off and on, but mostly off, since being announced in 2014. Many expect the film to enter the eternal limbo reserved for Dormammu at this point, but apparently this is still a thing. Maybe. So it's been announced that The Rock is now getting a solo Black Adam film. No word yet on, the actual Shazam film due out April 5th, 2019. The Shazam film seems to be having its own go-around in development hell, as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has also been cast as Black Adam since 2014. And yet the character of Shazam himself is still yet to be cast. I'm a bit leery of this. It seems like the DCEU are trying to pull an anti-Marvel with their movies, focusing on the villains instead of their heroes. What with the Suicide Squad and upcoming Gotham City Sirens films, plus the rumored Deadshot spin-off starring Will Smith, how about we try and get our heroes right first, shall we? Speaking of which, last week it was announced we got a couple of writers for the upcoming Green Lantern Corps movie. David Goyer and Justin Rhodes will pen the script. The story is said to be an origin involving Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and will be, quote, like Lethal Weapon in space, unquote. Well, that sounds very promising, do it not? Some people are kind of bristling at David Goyer being involved, and I can see why. He was responsible for Man of Steel, which is one of the worst comic book films in recent memory, in my opinion. But, let's not forget he worked on the Dark Knight trilogy with Nolan, and those films, well, two of them anyway, turned out to be exceptionally good. Goyer is just uneven. It's like you never know what we're going to get out of him. I think if we get a good director attached, things will turn out fine. Green Lantern Corps is currently scheduled for a 2020 release. And now for the main event of the evening, the final Logan trailer. Okay, so we have Weapon 23 in action here, in all her 10-year-old glory, and I guess this could be kinda cool. Wolverine trying to keep a miniature version of himself in check. I like the X-Men comics getting a shout-out here. It looks like the exploits of the X-Men have fallen into legend at this point. We have an old man Logan driving around a rapidly deteriorating Professor Xavier during what appears to be an extended road trip. We got the Reavers, those bad guys with cybernetic implants, out to get the little girl. Action ensues. Looks like a decent car chase is provided. Professor X kinda steals the show here with his, "This is what life looks like. People who love each other. A home." When you look at it in context, that's pretty much what Charles has been trying to give mutants from the very beginning, starting with Mystique and Eric, going down the line to Rogue and Logan. So it really feels in keeping with the film series for him to, even at this advanced age, try to see to it that Logan and X-23 have each other, that he's not leaving them alone in the world when he shuffles off this mortal coil. And I thought the music in the trailer was pretty good also. I'm not going to spend too long going over my objections to excessive violence and gore. I did all that a couple of times now, and I'll put the cards up to prove it. Check out my review for the first Logan trailer. I think I got like 2 views on that one, but it'll get you up to speed on that score. Last week's Poll of the Week question, do you want to see the original cut of Rogue One on Blu-ray? 0% said no, 20% said only as deleted scenes, and we have a tie for first place with 40% each saying yes to the original cut and I don't care. If I were to break the tie, I'd say yes. Thanks to all for voting. Follow my link in the description to my Twitter page in order to vote in next week's poll. Okay, so that about does it again for another episode of the Torch News Roundup. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, this is Johnnie Torch reminding you, keep the flame burning brightly, and I'll be with you again real soon.